Hello friends, today we are talking about stereo sound with Alex. Alex is my friend. His background is in hardware engineering. For a long time he's been interested in music, especially how to reproduce it at our homes with the same quality it was recorded in a studio. Now he builds stereo systems. In this video we are using his designs for demonstration. Hello Alex.
Hello, Oxy.
Thank you very much for coming here today.
Sure, it's always pleasure for me to talk about this subject.
As far as I understand, audio records offer the best quality of sound. And stereo sound can give us three-dimensional experience where we can virtually listen to the width and depth of a concert stage. But most of the people don't have this sophisticated and expensive equipment at home capable of reproducing it with the same quality as in the studio. So now the question arises how to improve our listening to music at home.
Rule number one, of course, if you want to do it right, do it yourself. I, for example, belong to audio DIY community, and there is a lot of forums and websites, and you can search on the internet for keywords, for example, audio DIY, and see for yourself. And there is a good reason for that. These days, profit margins often drive audio equipment production, and many consumer electronic companies they just cut corners, and that basically resulting in poor components quality and poor sound quality, or both.
Yes, I would like to ask you if I start from scratch. What life hacks can you give me on buying audio equipment to achieve the best quality of the sound but without spending a ton of money on it?
The secret basically is to match audio system components. Even if you have good quality speakers or good quality amplifier, it doesn't mean that they will work good together. Consider researching forums and finding the systems which already built and tested and results published on these audio forums. Also, if we're talking about amplifiers and full range speakers, I would recommend a three-way design for speakers where the subwoofer is working lower than 300 Hz and super tweeter is working higher than 40 kilohertz. That way, it will create a perfect point source sound with accurate phase reproduction, meaning the phase will not be distorted in the full range of the sound. And this is very important.
Now I would like to refresh everybody's memory and to give a definition of sound. A sound is a vibration which propagates as a wave, and the more frequent the vibration, the higher frequency of a sound. So we measure the sound in units which are called hertz, and we can hear in a range from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz.
Yes, this is correct, but now I want to go back to the previous question. Most people, they shop on a budget. And so you can consider buying DIY kits from Amazon or Parts Express or any other companies. For those who are interested, we can leave some links under this video.
Yes, this is a very good idea. Let's do that.
And after even you settle on some equipment and design of the whole system with speakers and amplifiers, there is still room for improvement. You can use, for example, DSP, which is digital signal processor, to tweak your system specifically for your room and your environment and your surroundings. And I need to add that all DIY communities, they're basically based on people's initiative. So if you find that your system is sounding very good you can share this experience and tests and measurements with the whole DIY community, and it's very valuable and appreciated.
Yes, thank you very much for sharing this. Now I would like to talk about stereo sound and three-dimensional sound. Why is it so addictive and intoxicated for us?
I actually have a question for you.
Yeah.
Why you can't catch mosquito while you're about to sleep in your bed or in a tent in the dark?
Mosquito. It's faster than us. It's faster than me.
No, not really. It seems that mosquito buzzes in a dark room from all directions.
Oh yeah, it's difficult to. We can't see it, but we hear the sound from everywhere.
Right, right. It sounds like it's basically buzzing all around you, and you can't pinpoint the location of the mosquito in a room or in your tent. So, and the reason is that for the mankind over the years, to survive, it was more important to hear from what direction bear or tiger is approaching rather than mosquito.
I agree on that.
Right. So, and unfortunate individuals who fail to hear branch breaking sound from the tiger paw will simply did not survive and didn't leave any offsprings. So, for that reason,
It didn't happen to us, right?
well,
we are here at the
yeah.
moment.
we're here, so our distant relatives, they managed to find the difference. For the humans to recognize the sound direction, the frequencies is about 300 Hz and 7,000 Hz. And the mosquito buzzes above this range, about 10,000 Hz, which confuses our brain, and we can't locate where the mosquito is actually flying. So, if we have a wide frequency range amplifier and speakers, it's good. But really, what makes stereo sound three-dimensional is correct sound phase. Audio phase is responsible for staging and imaging of the sound. Imagine you sitting in a theater in front of the orchestra. And if you close your eyes, you can hear that the first violin is on your left, and the contrabass, for example, is on your right, and drums are in the back, and the vocalist is up front. And the accurate phase reproduction creates a more precise orchestra image. In this case, we will hear the sound coming from each instrument, and it is no longer flat. It will have three-dimensional depth to it, and it will be rich and intoxicating music picture.
Yes, I agree with that. Now I have a question from my friend. If high fidelity speakers are really useful when most of the people don't hear higher than 16 kilohertz?
The short answer is yes. Hi-fi speakers will give you a sharper sound with more details, and because music is not a sinusoidal wave frequencies, we can hear actually a lot more. What we are hearing is a change in the sound pressure from all waves in the musical spectrum generated by musical instruments. The voices and interpreted actually by our brain. The highest frequency humans can hear is going down with age, but the interesting fact is that at any age we will be able to tell the difference between sound recorded, for example, with a good microphone and a bad microphone, with a good equipment or bad equipment. And good equipment, it's meaning it has a wide range and the microphones has more sensitivity and there is minimum distortion in the whole tract beginning from the microphone and ending up at your speakers.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Since on this video we are talking about quality of sound, I would like to mention Stradivarius violins. They are famous for their beautiful voices.
Antonio Stradivari was a genius Italian violin maker in 17th century. Today it's only about 650 of his instruments survive worldwide. And Stradivari used specific wood grown on a specific mountain and actually on a specific side of the mountain, and there was specific amount of rain the year these trees were grown, and it's all contributed basically to the texture of the wood, not even mentioning the glue and the paint and the polish, and all these components actually contribute to the quality of the sound from the violin.
Wow! Understand that? Can we hear the difference in the sound between the Stradivarius violin and normal, inexpensive violin with our naked ears?
Yes, it is challenging for untrained ears, but with enough practice, you can distinguish sounds between the, for example, Stradivari violins and modern violins.
Could you explain from a theoretical point of view why Stradivarius violins sound better than our modern violins?
The sound of Stradivari violins is better because it's much richer with harmonics and overtones. And that, as I was already talking about it, that these overtones and harmonics, they created by the specific wood properties from what this violin was created. So let's say we're comparing the Stradivari violin with a cheap plastic violin which can only produce basically the first harmonic of the notes.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be the same note, but it only produces the first harmonic of this note. For example, A7 note, it will only create a sound with 3520 Hertz. But the second harmonic of this note will be 7040 Hertz. And so on and so on. And six harmonics will be 21,120 Hertz. So as you can see, if you want to reproduce the whole spectrum of this note, you have to have a frequency range over 20 kilohertz already.
But we don't hear over than 20 kilohertz.
We don't hear a sinusoidal wave signal over 20 kilohertz.
Yes.
And when we're talking about musical instruments, we're talking about the whole spectrum. That means like the first harmonic have the biggest amplitude, but the second and the third and the rest of the harmonics, they probably have smaller amplitudes, but they still contributing to the overall sound of this note.
Yeah, now it's clear.
So what we hear is a sound basically resulting of a mixture of all these frequencies and with different amplitudes. And we need equipment capable of reproducing not only the first harmonic frequency, but even the highest harmonic frequencies as well. That way, we will hear the overall sound without minimum distortion. And plus, another secret that we are not actually hearing with ears. Ears is our receivers of the signal. What we hear is a sound picture created by our brain, which is probably topic for another video.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, so 6 harmonics participate in the creation of a single sound and single note. That's really interesting. I wouldn't have thought about it. Okay, I normally listen to music on my iPhone. So how is to better connect my iPhone to another audio equipment at home to listen to music with high quality sound?
This is actually a very good question. And the best way to connect any phone, not only iPhone, it can be Samsung or any other phone, is basically through external USB DAC, which is digital to audio converter. And there are many different models available on the market, but the best way is basically to listen to it first and then select the one which sounds better for you personally, because after all it's for you to decide what sounds good or what sounds bad. It's very personal perspective.
Thank you, Alex, for sharing this interesting information with us today. And you, if you have any questions, I'm going to leave Alex's email beneath this video.
Thank you, Oxy. If you'd like to build system yourself, we will leave some links below this video to Amazon and Parts Express, or if you're interested in my own design, I will be glad to share with you blueprints and schematics. Don't hesitate to send me an email and I'll try to answer all your questions as the best I can.
Yeah. Now it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for your attention, and next time we'll talk about totally different subject. Bye now.
Bye.